Hi, my name is Kimberly Fletcher. I'm the president and founder of Homemakers for America, an Air Force wife, and mother of 8 children. I didn't plan on starting a national organization, and I never dreamed that I would be as actively involved as I am. I was happy just being a mom, a wife, and taking care of our home and family. But something changed 9 years ago that made me realize I needed to do something more. Not for me, certainly not for fame or glory, but for my children. Because for the first time, on September 11th, 2001, I truly understood what it means to be free and personally realized the cost of that freedom. My husband was stationed at the Pentagon on 9/11. Through the grace of God, he came home to me that day, safe and well. So many others did not. They paid the ultimate price for freedom, and every one of them is a hero. But they are the heroes within us all. We all have that spirit within us to come together and help one another. We all have the ability to put our petty differences and selfish agendas aside. We all have the ability to stand together and close the divide between us, because we are all Americans, and that is the thing that ties us all together. That is why I am going to Washington, D.C. this year for the 2010 March on D.C. I know we're all pretty tired of going to D.C. I mean, how many times have we already gone, and what has it accomplished? They still passed the stimulus bill, they still passed government health care, and they're still spending us into oblivion like there's no tomorrow. So why come to Washington yet again? What good would it do? I'll be totally honest. It probably won't change anything in Washington, but it can change us. Because this year, we aren't rallying against anything. We're rallying for something. Something we can all believe in. The spirit of America. And this year's event is more than just a rally. It's 4 whole days of enlightening, motivating, liberty-promoting events hosted by Unite in Action and FreedomWorks. On Thursday and Friday, September 9th and 10th, Unite in Action is hosting the first ever Liberty Expo and Symposium, which is, as Glenn Beck says, a fusion of entertainment and enlightenment. Authors, speakers, and presenters from around the country are coming to give presentations to inform, inspire, and empower us, and give us the tools, guidance, and support we need to become active participants in preserving liberty right in our own backyards. These are the real tangible things we are looking for that we can use to take home with us and make a real difference. And then on September 11th, we will gather together on the National Mall from 8:45 to 10:30 in the morning and pay tribute to America's heroes, those who paid the ultimate price for freedom, and those who willingly placed their lives in harm's way to protect that freedom. But we need to remember that the price of freedom cannot be paid alone by those who are willing to surrender their lives. It must also be paid by those who are willing to dedicate their lives. So on the afternoon of September 11th, we will gather once again on the National Mall to rededicate our lives to our country, to the Constitution, and to those principles of liberty this nation was founded on. And on September 12th, FreedomWorks will host a non-denominational worship service, One Nation Back to God, and then hold their rally, Take Back America, that afternoon. It's 4 whole days of liberty-promoting events in our nation's capital, and we hope you will join us. I know there are some who have suggested that holding a rally on 9/11 is disrespectful to those who lost their lives that day. But I say, what better day than Patriot Day? 9/11 was a great awakening for this country. How many of us woke up to a real sense of what freedom meant and how easy it is to lose it? How many of us rededicated our lives to freedom that day? How many of us are 9/11 patriots? Over 3,000 Americans gave their lives for freedom that day, and thousands more have given their lives since. If all we do to honor their memory every year on 9/11 is mourn their loss, then all we are doing is highlighting their death. We're not honoring their lives. On the morning of 9/11, we will honor our first responders, our military service members, and all those Americans who gave their lives for their fellow countrymen. And in the afternoon, we will come together and honor their memory with our commitment and dedication to the preservation of freedom, so that their memories can live on in our hearts as the heroes that saved us all. We cannot allow freedom to be lost, because if we do, they died in vain. We're awake now. We know what freedom means, and we must be willing to pay the price, because if we lose freedom in America, there is no place left to go. Our military service members are doing their part. They're sacrificing all they have to preserve our freedom abroad. We must be willing to do the same here at home. So that is why I am going to Washington this year. That is why Homemakers for America joined the Advisory Council for Unite in Action. And it is why I serve on the committee for this event. Because on 9/11 I woke up and I dedicated myself to the preservation of liberty. And I will pay any price. I pledge my time, which is my life. I pledge my fortune, such as it is. And I pledge my sacred honor, which the media has already tried to destroy. But I willingly give all for my God, my family, my freedom, and my country. And I ask you to come just one more time to Washington, D.C., to make that commitment with me, to stand together side by side as Americans, united from sea to shining sea, to renew the spirit of America. Let us gather not in anger, but in resolve, with a commitment to rededicate our lives to what matters most: liberty, life, and one nation under God. So I hope to see you September 9th through 12th in Washington, D.C. And I encourage you to bring your signs. But this time, the signs need to be a little different. This year, they need to be signs that thank those who have given all. Signs that show love for your country and your countrymen. And signs that simply say, I will. I will dedicate my life for freedom. I will read, respect, and honor the Constitution. I will reverence God. I will stand up for America. I will pay any price. I will make any sacrifice. I will put the public good above my own self-interests. I will come together and stand side by side with my fellow patriots, united in action. God bless you, and may He, through your dedicated efforts to preserve liberty, continue to bless America.